Hey everyone, and welcome to season 5 of Cozying Up with a Clear Cut, where we get up close and personal with women that inspire us. We're gonna kick off the season with Lyss. She is a content creator, best known for her Instagram and TikTok content. We sat down and talked about her journey through social media over the past 10 years and how you should date yourself instead. Listen up. Hey everyone, and welcome to Cozying Up with a Clear Cut, where we get up close and personal with women that inspire us. Today, I'm here with content creator Lyss. We love following her on Instagram and on TikTok, and I've been following her forever. Thank you so much for being with us today.
I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
So you have been creating content or been like influencing on social media for like years now, right?
Yeah, I've been in like the social media world for like 10 years.
So tell us about like how did you get started? Because 10 years ago, it was like a really different landscape than what's going on today.
Yeah, it definitely was. I feel like the whole platform of like Instagram, and now we have TikTok, like none of that was really around 10 years ago. And Instagram was like an unknown thing. Mm-hmm. Like no brands were on it yet. And I was just creating my own content literally for fun. Like I wasn't making money from it 10 years ago, obviously. But it changed so much. And now like it's a totally different industry. And it's my full-time job, which is really cool.
So how did you what was the first type of content you started creating? Like, how did you get into it?
So I first started creating fitness content, which was like, I was pretty much just like documenting my fitness journey in college because I gained a lot of weight and I like felt like not so great about my body. And also like I have PCOS, which is like a hormone condition. And I was just trying to do like everything I could to make myself feel better. So I used Instagram as like a fitness diary, which is really random now thinking about it. But like I was doing that for like 4 years.
For 4 years?
Yeah.
And then how did you, I mean, I see a lot of that kind of fitness content on TikTok, and I feel like it's really engaging because like it helps motivate people and like people can follow you along. But how did you like go from fitness? And I think when I started following you, you were like more travel, right?
Yeah. So after that like 4-year mark, I met my ex-boyfriend and he was a photographer, and then I switched into travel. So I started doing like a ton of travel content, completely shifted my brand. And then my account actually blew up from travel and not from the fitness stuff. Like I had a pretty decent following, but once I started doing like a lot of travel content and then videos came out on Instagram, my account really grew from there. So yeah.
And now what would you say like your content is more like, what's the category? More like lifestyle? I know you do a lot of dating stuff.
It's definitely lifestyle now. I'm building a new account right now, which is like all about dating advice and like loving yourself. And I'm kind of shifting. I'm like in the middle of like a brand shift again. Like every 4 years, I feel like I change a lot as a person. And I just kind of want to shift my brand because I get bored and then I just do it. I don't know. Like, hopefully it'll work out this time, but.
And I feel like creating content all the time as your main job is like very creatively exhausting. Like, how do you like keep up like being inspired and like putting things out there that you think people will like?
I feel like it's definitely on and off for me. But I don't know. I think like part of the reason I move around so much and travel is because I get very inspired by being in new places, and like my brain is more creative when I'm like constantly moving around. But that's just me. Like I know everyone has different ways of like working creatively. I just love like moving around and having new experiences to like fuel my brain with ideas. And also just like, this is kind of random, but like every time I work out, I think of really good ideas. Like just I just need movement and like walking or like just like listening to like calming music while I'm like taking a walk like by the water, like the West Side Highway or something. I get like really inspired to like think of new ideas.
I actually get good ideas when I work out too.
Yeah. Like working out, just like your brain just starts like rapid firing all these ideas. Well, for me at least, like I'll be like running and I'm just like, oh wait, like I want to stop running so I can like write my ideas down.
Yeah.
So.
And you said that whenever you're like singularly focused like on your goal, you don't like, you really tune out the noise of what's going on around you. What is like a goal that you have right now?
My biggest goal is like my podcast. Like now it's like my baby because like I've recorded a lot of episodes for it that are coming out, and I just want it to be like really successful. And
So that's coming out when?
In August.
So tell us all about it.
So it's all about dating. It's called Date Yourself Instead. And it was inspired by a really intense relationship that I was in that made me kind of like forget how to love myself. And I felt like I was just like...
This wasn't the photographer boyfriend.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, this is someone that no one really knows.
Okay.
But it was just like a really hard couple years for me. I feel like I lost my identity in the relationship. And then I've always loved giving advice to people. Like, I'm really good at seeing things from like a perspective that's like not biased or anything. Like, even if like my friend came to me and said, this guy is doing this, like I'd always say, well, maybe like you have to like also check in like how you said this to him. Like, I'm not like I feel like I have a very neutral opinion towards a lot of things and can like help people like from a perspective that's very like objective and like whatever. So, and I've always been that way. So I'm like really passionate about giving dating advice and like helping people, like kind of like being like the mediator.
What are your three like biggest pieces of dating advice?
The first thing is that I think to go into any relationship from a place of like knowing that you're going to be okay with or without someone. Like, I feel like I would always rush into a relationship in the past when I was just like, I felt like I needed a boyfriend to like be happy, or like I needed to depend on someone to like talk to every single second of every day. And like, I'd always had a pattern of doing that. So I think the biggest lesson I've learned is to like really focus on myself and like love myself fully. And I think that's when you attract really good people in your life, not even just a partner, but just like good people that are like going to support your growth and like make you a better person. I think I've attracted a lot of people in my life previously when I didn't love myself, and it like cost me a lot like of energy because they would take advantage of me or like just, I believe that like your partner sometimes can show you a reflection of like how you feel about yourself. So I just used to attract people that like didn't treat me that well. And now it's like, okay, once you come from a place of like being like, you don't have to always be like fully healed, like that term like healed, you don't always have to be like perfect, but just like knowing that like you're okay by yourself, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Before you get into a relationship. So that's like one of the biggest pieces of advice I could give.
Cool.
Hey everyone, Olivia here. Hope you're enjoying our episode. Our Clear Cut collection features fine jewelry pieces inspired and designed with you in mind. Our collection is ever-changing and each piece is handmade and made to order here in New York City. Don't forget to check it out and use the code COZY, C-O-Z-Y, for free shipping on any purchase.
So we're going to play a fun game where we look at a couple different styles of engagement rings, and it's all based on like your personal preference, but we'll do like, you know, if he's like a 6 and he proposed to you with like this particular ring, like would that like rank him up or down?
Okay,
so that
this
game
is going to be fun.
So we'll start with this one. This is an emerald cut solitaire on a yellow gold band. It is about 5 carats for the center stone. So he's a 4, but he proposes to you with this ring.
Can I put it on?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. This is actually really nice. It's really nice.
Very classic, timeless.
I'm a very simple person.
Okay.
Like, when it comes to rings, like, I wear very simple jewelry. Like, this is, like, beautiful. I'm gonna give him an 8.
Okay, great. That really bumped him up.
Yeah, this definitely bumped him up. This is really nice. Okay.
Perfect.
I don't want to, like, ruin it.
Oh, you're not gonna ruin it.
Okay.
But we can rank them
I
at
know,
the
I
end.
want to be, like, delicate.
So he's a 9, but he proposes to you with this 3-stone Asher cut bezel set pave ring that he may have inherited. You know, it's a little bit more vintage.
He inherited it from his great grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was an 8.
He was an 8. I mean, This isn't, I mean, it's not terrible, but like this would be a no from me.
Just because you have a simple style, this is the opposite of simple.
It's not, it would be something, I would not want to wear this. I would not want to wear
But you would have to because it's sentimental to him and his family.
Like it's passed down from generations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely, you said he was an 8?
Yeah, he was an 8.
Okay, I'm gonna have to give him like a 3, just because he doesn't know my taste at all. I will also, but it's like from his family.
But it wasn't his fault.
All right, it's not his fault.
There's context.
I have to like actually, like, all right, a 5.
Okay.
A 5.
Okay.
Just because like, I don't know. I might expect him to get me like a second ring, just in case. But it's not terrible.
No. It's just not your style.
Not my style.
This is someone's style. But not yours.
Really?
It's someone's out there. Okay. He's a 5.
Okay.
It's neutral. And he proposes to you with this 5-carat round brilliant on a tapered baguette setting.
Oh, this is really nice, though.
Very traditional, like when you think
Yes.
of an engagement ring.
It does look like when you like Google like stock images
Yes.
of an engagement ring, it looks exactly like the pictures. I would say what would you
He's
say?
a 5.
He's a 5. Honestly, this is still not my style at all, but I would just keep him at a 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's still at a 5.
He's in the middle.
Okay.
He's in the middle. This looks very, it almost looks too plain.
Right.
It's not really like anything.
It's very traditional.
Super traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So beautiful diamond, but like not your style again, just a little too traditional.
Not my style.
But you'd wear it.
I would wear that. Yeah, I would wear that. Yeah, I like square cuts.
Okay.
Like this style.
Yeah.
But just not, obviously not like blue.
Yeah.
But
Like cushion cut.
Yeah. I don't know like the cut terms, but
So he's a 10, but he picks this out for you.
oh my god, no. Oh no, this is scary. This is not.
It's
It looks like
an antique ring.
I mean, it looks like a sunflower.
Yeah. Maybe that's like
this
your
is-
nickname.
Well, this is like the actual engagement ring.
Yeah.
And like he's supposed to know me like
Yeah.
really well.
But maybe he like thinks of you like a sunflower, you know?
I honestly, I would have to say like a 0.
A 0.
No, I would have to say like we need to exchange this for something.
So is it a no,
I
or
just-
we need to exchange it?
Like if he proposed.
Yeah.
It depends. Like I feel like someone, if I was really in love with them and that close, they would never buy this for me. But at the same time, like if he was really having like a bad day when he picked it out, like I would have to just exchange it.
Okay.
I don't know if I would like ever
Say
I could never
no,
break
yeah.
up with someone. Yeah, like
Yeah,
or say
no.
no if the ring was not.
I don't
what
think anyone
wanted.
ever does it. I think they're
No.
always like, okay, honey, let's like talk about this
Yeah.
later, you know?
I'm sure it's happened many times
Yes.
to people, but
Well, I feel like nowadays, like more and more women are like really taking charge of the whole process. So like that doesn't
Yeah.
happen.
that's pretty nice actually to know that. Like when I do decide to get engaged, that
Yeah.
I could like pick out my own.
Yeah,
ring.
totally.
It's like more common.
So he's a 4 and he gets you an oval on a pop-a band.
I like this one. Is that bad?
No.
Oh no, this is
It's like-
really nice.
yeah, it's
This is
really
like-
nice.
No, you were laughing. I was like, wait, is this ugly? Like, I
No,
I
it's
think
like
this
one
is
of our most popular
yeah,
styles.
This is like so beautiful.
Yeah.
I actually really love this.
So what does that bump him up from a 4 to what?
This is a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a 9.
I mean, that's
Oh,
nice.
A 10.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, no, this is like, I would wear this every day.
Yeah.
This is something you could also wear every day, and like, it would go with like anything, like anytime you go out and get dressed, it's like the best statement piece.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Yeah.
Oval's the new classic.
Definitely a 9 or a 10.
Yeah. So that one was, yeah, just a 4-carat oval.
I really like that one. And that's simple.
Yeah. It's like modern classic, not as traditional as that round brilliant with the tapered baguettes, but like the new classic.
Yes.
Okay, last but not least, he is a 7, but he proposes to you with this trillion double band ring.
This is kind of cool.
Yeah,
actually.
it is kind of cool, right?
I really do like this. I don't think it's like for me, like I don't think this would be like my style of engagement ring, but I love the ring itself.
Like on your right hand or something.
Yeah. I don't want to get this stuck on my finger. I keep forgetting the number.
I think I said 7. I think.
Yeah, he's a 7. I mean, for an engagement ring, I would say maybe now he's like a 5.
Okay.
Just for my style.
Yeah.
But I would wear this. I would wear this, just maybe not as like my engagement ring.
Perfect. Thank you
It's
for
so
playing.
beautiful. Yeah, that was fun.
So speaking of jewelry, since we're a jewelry company, do you
Yes.
have like any special pieces that like are extra sentimental or that you love wearing all the time?
Well, the necklace that I got from you.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. That necklace I
Awesome.
got a million compliments on.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
a
my
million.
God.
Like all over my TikTok, people are like, where'd you get that necklace from? And I tagged you guys a bunch of times.
So we gifted the from our Butch Have a Heart collection the heart lariat necklace, which I love. I love a lariat.
I'm obsessed with that necklace.
Yeah.
Obsessed. And I like you almost forget that it's on because it's so like light
Mm-hmm.
and like it's so I literally always forget I'm wearing a necklace. I'm not wearing it now, but I literally didn't take it off for like since you gave it to me.
And it's like a great, like, I think it's like a really dainty, but like kind of like sexy piece, like of the lariat, because it kind of like is low. It looks great like with bathing suits and
it
stuff.
looks so good with everything.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. So I was wearing that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I have like one David Yurman ring that I wear like I've literally worn it for like 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I just took it off and now this ring is from Greece. It's like a handmade.
You were
custom
recently in
piece.
Greece, right?
Yeah. I was in Mykonos for a while.
That looked beautiful. I'm going to need recommendations because I want to go next year.
You should go for sure. I know you did a big trip too, right?
I've just had a million weddings this year. That's like all I'm doing is like traveling for weddings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's still fun though.
Yeah. Next year I'll go to Greece.
Yeah.
So what is like, to kind of switch gears, what is like your biggest inspiration in like how I know you said you love like movement and moving around, but like when you are traveling, what do you look for like when you're in different places to get inspiration to like, I don't know, make not only content, but to rebrand, to like create a podcast? Like where are you getting these ideas from?
It's a mixture of things. Like I could just be by myself. So I do a lot of solo travel actually.
I've seen that and I'm like
Yeah.
always like, I don't know if I could ever travel by myself. I'd be like so nervous.
I don't know
And
why.
awkward.
I don't even know how I'm like this, but I've always been that way. Like when I was 19, I went to Australia for like a study abroad program, and no one from my college was going with me. Like usually you get like a group of girls from your year and like you go to Italy together or something. Like my parents were like, why don't you do like Florence? Like everyone that you know is going. And I was like, no, I'm going to go to Australia like by myself. And I literally went by myself and just like, it was honestly really scary. Like I remember just like, I didn't have cell phone service when I got there. I was like navigating around, like asking random people for directions.
Luckily they speak English.
Oh yeah. So they definitely spoke English, but it was just like, I always wanted to venture out and like learn from like my environment by myself. So I knew like sometimes when I'm around a lot of people, I know this sounds a little weird, but like I absorb people's energy really easily. So like sometimes I won't know what ideas are mine or theirs. So when I'm by myself, I get really creative because I'm able to like only listen to like what's going on in my head. And that sounds really like deep, but like it's like that's just how I operate. Like I feel like it's easy to get influenced by other people. So when I do my own thing and I'm solo traveling and I'm like in my own head most of the time, I can like just come up with new ideas because I'm like by myself and like in a new environment. And like whether it be like I'm at a new restaurant and I'm just like chilling there, like having a drink by myself, or like I meet new people because I'm by myself. I feel like sometimes just like meeting new friends when I'm traveling has like, I don't know, given me new ideas. Like it opens you up to like different people that live in different places around the world. Like there's just so many different, I guess, ways I've like thought of things. I don't know if that's really helpful, but
yeah, totally. Did you ever feel like when you do travel by yourself, do you ever get like lonely or like awkward or nervous?
Sure. Yeah, no, I get very, I wouldn't say I get anxious, but I get very lonely sometimes because then it gets really quiet. Like, luckily, I think a big reason why I'm able to do it is because of social media, because like I have people that I can connect with through my phone. But if I was just like constantly with no phone, like stranded on an island, I would probably go crazy. Yeah. So it's like I have that balance of still being connected in a way. Right. And then also like when I am traveling by myself, I'll post where I am, and then like some of my followers will live there, or like some of my followers will be in the same place as me and say like, hey, like I've like met a lot of people through my Instagram and TikTok just from being by myself, like, and connecting with like different girls that are like in the same place at the same time. So I don't ever feel like completely alone.
Totally. But what's your favorite place to travel alone to?
I recently went to London, which was cool because it was kind of like New York City, but it was like just like the British version. Yeah. It kind of felt like home because like everything, they have all the same stores, like restaurants, and like it's just, I kind of felt like fine there, like being by myself. So that was really fun. And I love London. And where else have I recently gone by myself?
I know when I saw you last time you went to Mexico and you said that was like really...
Oh my God. I almost forgot about that. So I went to Tulum by myself a few months ago, and I did like this spiritual retreat there, and it was amazing. And I like had like this private guide that like guided me through like some meditations, and I had some friends that I knew from TikTok that lived there that I met up with, but other than that, I was by myself. So it was really cool. It was like a very spiritual experience. Cause like that was when I was going through my breakup, and I just like felt it was a very emotional vacation, but it was like needed. Yeah. I felt like you
came back like refreshed, like a new person.
Yeah, for sure. It was really cool. I don't think I would go back there again unless it was for like a healing experience. Like that, Tulum is a very healing place. Yeah. It's also a huge party place. Yeah. But yeah.
You can have like two different Tulums. Like I've been there in like the chill version, and I also recently went on a bachelorette, and I was like, am I in the same place?
You can have two totally different experiences there. I've been there 5 times. Yeah. So the first few times were like kind of work and also like going out, drinking, whatever, like partying, whatever. Now I don't really drink anymore. I'm like very like low key. I like to just like work out, feel good, like do yoga. Like
I know we're getting old, and I feel the same way.
I can't handle it. Like I can't like physically handle drinking, and some people are like still crushing it. Like people go out and they're like 30. I know people that are like 35 plus that are like, they have so much energy, and they just, I'm like, I don't know how you like take 12 shots and wake up the next day.
No, I have like 1 glass of wine and I'm like ruined for the whole week.
Same, exactly. Like it's so hard for me to do that. So I don't do that anymore. But like, it's kind of nice because you always feel like really refreshed when you wake up in the morning without a hangover, or like feeling like, oh my God, my next three days are like gonna be exhausting because
hangovers are harder now.
they're really hard.
So I'd love to know like any of your most recent craziest dating stories that you feel comfortable sharing, and like a little taste of your podcast.
Yeah, I can be very brief about this, but just the guy, we met on a dating app, and he was, I don't know, like, you know when your gut already knows just from texting someone that something's going to be off? Like, I already knew that I didn't want to meet up with him, but it was like the day before Thanksgiving, and no one was in the city, and I was like by myself, like doing nothing. And I was just like, you know what, like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? And I ended up meeting this guy, like, at a bar that was completely empty. Like, there was not one person in there. It was just me and him. So it was, like, already awkward.
Oh my God, that's so awkward.
Because, like, we didn't know, like, it was just really weird. And
It's like silent.
It was completely silent. It was the bartender, and it was me and him. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, this is gonna be really weird. And I was completely sober, like, when I walked in, and I'm like, I wasn't planning on really drinking, but I was just kind of like, okay, now it's, like, gonna be so awkward, and I don't know how to have a conversation in the dead silence in this bar. Like,
that requires a drink.
It was just, like, a weird, already, like, when I walked in, I was like, I feel weird. Also, I just didn't think he wasn't really my type. Like, in his pictures, he looked a little different. He didn't look completely different, but there was something I wasn't, like, into. Like, I was just like, I'm not sure. And then we were talking, and, like, he kind of, like, mentioned a few times that he used to be a drug dealer, and I was just like, but he was like, that was, like, when I was much younger in my past, and I was just like, okay. And like, whatever. I was just, like, trying to, like...
It's kind of a weird thing to say on a first date, but...
Yeah, but I guess it was weird looking back, but I was just kind of, like, dismissing it for some reason. I was like, okay, like, maybe he changed and he grew up a lot. Like, he's like, oh, it was, like, when I lived in, like, LA or something, like, I used to deal drugs, and then I cleaned my act up or something, and I'm like, okay. And then I went to the bathroom, and I came back, and I took one more sip of my drink, and I think I blacked out. Like, I think he roofied me.
Oh, wow.
Because I couldn't focus. Like, I didn't really drink. Like,
yeah.
I had only had one drink the whole time. And, like, I can't prove that happened, but I also was just, like, suddenly I went from feeling really sharp and clear-headed to, like, feeling like I had no control. So I was like, this is really sketchy. But my brain was still saying, like, just, like, don't hang out with him anymore and leave, because this guy's really sketchy. So I literally just, like, left and, like, did not speak to him, and he did not answer his texts. Like, he was, like, confused. He's like, why are you just, like, leaving, whatever. And I just felt, like, really weird. And then a few weeks later, he kept texting me and asked me to hang out, and he was like, I think he just, like, didn't understand what was wrong, and maybe he didn't roofie me, but I just felt, like, weird. Like, something felt off in my body. I was like, this is, like, a really sketchy situation. But I decided after, like, a month to give him one more chance, and I went to...
He may or may not have roofied me, but I'll give him one more chance.
I know, like, that's so bad to say, but I'm really... Okay, to put this into, like, better context, I'm a really open-minded and forgiving person, and I feel like I was giving him the benefit of the doubt in my head. Like, maybe I accused him falsely, because I couldn't, like, I didn't have enough, like, proof that was what had happened, and he was being so persistent afterwards, saying, like, what's wrong, like, making sure I was okay. And I was like, maybe I didn't eat that much before I drank, maybe, like, let me give him one more chance.
Oh, man.
I ended up hanging out with him in his apartment, and he made a comment, like, I have body parts in my freezer, and I lost it. I was like, I gotta go. Like, he was just weird. There was something off.
But you went to his apartment.
I did, but he lived in a really nice building, so I kind of trusted him, but it was just like, there was just too many weird things. There was a lot more that happened, but I'm gonna cut it short. But, like, there were just multiple things they were so strange, and just, I never ended up seeing him again. But it was, like...
Probably for the best, because you could have been roofied and cut up into body parts and been in his freezer.
Well, I think it was his idea of a joke, but that wasn't funny to me. So I was like, that's a little weird. And I had posted something about it a long time ago on my TikTok, not like saying who it was or anything, but... Someone commented, is this so-and-so? So other girls had experienced similar things. So I knew I wasn't crazy after that. And I was like, oh my God, thank God I didn't, like, pursue that any longer, because I felt, like, unsafe.
Also, that's just one cool thing about TikTok, that all these, like, weirdos are getting outed. Like, that Caleb guy.
You can't get away with anything if you're, like, a crazy person now, because...
What was his name? It was, like, some guy that worked at Restoration. West Elm, yeah. What did you learn from that?
What did I learn from that? I learned to not be as trusting as I am, like in a good way. I just didn't have as many boundaries as I do now. Like if your gut's saying something's wrong, you don't have to justify it with evidence. Like that's what I've learned. It's like I would always look for the evidence and be like, well, I can't prove that he's crazy, so like let me just do this anyway, even though my gut's saying not to. Like I just learned to like really trust your intuition and not necessarily just because you can't see physical proof of someone being a psychopath, like yeah, you just sometimes you just know. And like thank God nothing happened, you know, like thank God maybe he was just a little bit weird and like he's totally harmless, but like there was just a lot of things that I was,
and also like not giving in to like just some guy being like really persistent. You don't owe them like another date if you feel weird about it, right?
Yeah. I think also when I was single back then, this was also in 2019, so it was a couple of years ago, but like I've learned so much since then. Like if you just don't feel comfortable with something, even if someone's being the nicest person to you on the surface, like if you just don't feel comfortable, you don't feel comfortable. Like I just had a way of like justifying the way I felt towards people, being like, no, I'm the crazy one. Like, why would I accuse him of roofing me? Like, I convinced myself that I was being a little bit too paranoid, when really, like, I was probably right the whole time, you know? But I still can't prove that. But
trust your gut.
Yeah, just like if you're not 100% set on something, you're usually right. Yeah. So I always trust my gut now. Even if I text someone and like they give me a little bit of a weird vibe, I'm like, no. Yeah. Because the guys I have ended up dating and getting into serious relationships with, it's always been so like calming, like no anxiety, no like weird feelings. Like it's just been like, oh, this guy is normal, we like each other, and like it's been easy. Yeah. So I always look for that feeling versus like, oh, like should I go to his apartment because he seems like he is gonna kill me? Like probably not, you know. So I'm way more cautious, and like that was like irresponsible looking back. I'm like, yeah, why did I like I've always thought of like the past, I'm like, why did I do that? Like I was so naive, like to like just like trust someone like that. But thankfully like nothing has ever happened where I was in a really bad situation. But
can we look forward to more stories like this on your podcast?
Yeah, I have a ton of stories. And the thing is, I will never, ever expose anyone. Like, I'll never do that. But I have a lot of anonymous dating stories that I've compiled over the last 5 years of my dating in New York. And I've been in a few, like, long relationships, too. So tell us, like, when is it coming out where people can, like, follow you, listen to you, keep up with you? So it's coming out next month in August, and the socials for it is it's Date Yourself Instead. That's what the podcast is called. And yeah.
And what's your Instagram and TikTok so people can
So my Instagram is Lyss. It's a very easy Lyss, and the same thing for my TikTok.
Awesome. This was so much fun. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
What a fun conversation. I love hearing all about the crazy dating stories. Do you guys have any dating tips? Like, what is your number one dating rule? Let us know.